Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to connect in with you today. Honored to have this time that we get to come together and connect heart to heart, pour into you. So many times we are moving, especially in the fall. There's this magical time of year, the beginning of September, where the energy shifts and we start to move into all these different activities. In the US, we're doing a lot of going back to school, but that's looking very different now, and how we're connecting, how that's working with the pandemic and shifting to this in-home sort of process for the students to learn. And yet their parents, many parents, are also at home working. So how do we coordinate all of that and still continue to move everything forward? Plus, we're starting to shift into this energy that's getting into the fall. It's setting new patterns and rhythms, and we're getting ready to step into the holiday season. And so I think it's a really important time of year that we stop for a moment. We take a breath. We remember to connect in with ourselves, catch up with ourselves a little bit, because we can just run from one thing to the next, and that to-do list ends up being in charge rather than us being in charge. And we talked about that earlier this month. So how are we remembering to allow balance into our life? And we like to talk about falling into balance. What tools, what ways are we approaching things that help us bring that balance into our life? And we have two amazing guests that are coming alongside us today that are going to be announcing some things we're very excited about. So stay tuned for the announcements. You heard it here, so stay tuned. But in that, what they're bringing forward is designed to powerfully support you, help you in being able to continue to move forward in powerful and balanced ways. Because when we're off balance, it's hard to stand in our power. It's hard to bring our best forward. And especially during the times that we are facing in our families, that we are facing as a community, and we are facing nationally and globally around the world, it's really important that we stop and choose to find that balance so that we're mindful and purposeful about what we're choosing to bring forward and echo out into the world. So this time together today, I want to encourage you to be present, to allow us to pour into you, to support you, so that you are filled to overflowing in a beautiful way as you go back out into the world. To do that, I want to invite you to choose to be present. Choose to be fully here, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So let's take a breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, like through a straw. Beautiful. Take another breath, and as you do so, I invite you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. That can help some of those visual distractions. So taking a breath, you're absolutely safe, eyes closed. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And in this place of stillness and breath, as you're bringing oxygen to every cell of your body, you're lowering your stress levels, your cortisol levels, which helps us be more present, clearing out what no longer serves, bringing in that beautiful supportive oxygen, creating space and clarity so we can be fully present in this space. What is it that you need? What is it that will support you, encourage you, empower you, real time? What do you need today to help support you in finding that balance? What do you need? that you are willing to receive because you have choice? What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Just see if that shifts the information a little bit. So as you identify what it is that you need and are willing to receive, I want you to feel that, acknowledge it, and take a breath. Come back into the room, fully present, eyes open, and take a moment and write it down. Let's bring forward what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's start to bring that into reality, co-create it. Keep it top of mind so we don't miss exactly what we need because we're distracted by the next shiny thing or that thing on the to-do list. Let's keep it top of mind. Be actively on the lookout. And again, I didn't ask how. How's a different conversation. You're actually looking forward to how this need can be met in an unexpected and surprising way that you just never even saw coming. How amazing is that? So be willing to be open and be on the lookout. And during our conversation today, our intention is to help move you forward in that need and come alongside you so that you can receive fully. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for connecting in, for being here. We're going to go around our virtual room, giving opportunity to connect in on a heart level with our amazing guests. And as we do that, Kathy, I would love for you to share when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. What was laid on your heart?
What I heard today, more than anything, was that each morning that I wake up is a new beginning, unlike any other day, unlike any other September 17th that I've ever experienced before. It's brand new this year. We've never experienced September 17th under this conditions that the world is in today. It's an opportunity to start again every day.
I love that. A brand new, shiny September 17th has been given to us today.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it. Beautiful. And I could just, as you were sharing, I just put a smile on my face. How beautiful to look at this as a brand new day that we've been given, that we can choose kind of how it moves forward. And what a beautiful reminder. Every single day we get a brand new day wrapped up in shiny paper that we get to open up every morning. That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. And then how about you, Renu? What was on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
I think when I took a moment to stop, pause, and listen, I want peace. This has been I was thinking about how this year has been. It was so difficult nobody imagined. I never, when you plan anything, you try and put all the pros and cons in your life. And this is one I never even included, which is a pandemic. So I wake up every morning and I'm just thankful that I'm alive. And I also wake up every day just remembering that, you're stronger than what you seem. And just remember that you're loved and you have your loved ones near you and you should be thankful for that and then start your day with those thoughts.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I think that's so important. And to me, as you're sharing, I'm feeling really choosing how we start that day and finding those things to be grateful for and including our family on that, because sometimes I don't know that we do. So I love that beautiful reminder, because it is a blessing and something that we can lean into and being grateful for, and the peace that we can really, I think collectively, I'm sure that is resonating on many hearts today with our listeners, that peace, both in our personal lives, our professional lives, our community, and the world. And I think that's something we can unite very, very strongly in around the world. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, as we get ready to go to our first commercial break, I want to encourage you to choose to stay present. These 2 minutes are for you It's an opportunity to be still, to listen, perhaps continuing to support that energy of peace, that we're taking a moment, these 2 minutes, to send our love and our support collectively around the world, to reinforce that, to bring energy to that, to weave in that peace and gratefulness, weave in recognizing we have a brand new September 17th that's been given to us today. Weaving all of those pieces together and the message that's been laid on your heart. And I invite you to stay present in that. Really be still, lend your heart, your spirit, your energy to support that. And when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation and lean into all that our amazing experts have to share with us today. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel. Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you gave yourself that opportunity to be present, to fully immerse yourself in that beautiful energy. It's amazing what a difference, what a shift can happen in 1 minute, 2 minutes of being mindful, being purposeful, and being still. It's amazing the clarity we get, the focus, the rejuvenation in just 2 minutes. We're going to give you opportunities throughout our show today to utilize 2 minutes at a time to be still, to process, to receive, so that when you go back out into the world, you're doing so in a refreshed, full, ready to bring forward all that matters to you type of space. So we're not wanting to add things to your to-do list, but support you, help you integrate things so they become part of you as you step back out into the world. Now, we are talking today about falling into balance and being really mindful about that, especially during the shifting of seasons, shifting of patterns, the things that we are facing globally, the things we are looking to transition to as the holidays are coming, all of those pieces coming together. And as we're setting these new patterns, what an opportunity to build balance into them, to build support into them. And so, very honored to introduce our first amazing guest. I know you got to hear from her on a heart level, reminding us that it's a brand new, shiny September 17th today that we get to embrace. So, Kathy Davis is the founder and CEO of Davis Creative Partners. She has a background in corporate America as a corporate director of B of A. And in 2004, making sure I get the years right here, 2004, she launched her company to support people in branding and design, offering those services. And then she found so many people that were speakers, trainers, leaders were coming to her wanting support to publish and bring their work forward. She pivoted, a word we hear frequently these days, pivoted in 2007 or 2007 to support speakers, trainers, and leaders and help them harness and use the power of publishing to grow their business. She is passionate about helping you reap all of the benefits professionally and personally that are there when you bring your work forward and you publish it. So please lean in and powerfully welcome the amazing Kathy Davis to the show. Welcome.
Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for having me on today.
You are very welcome. Excited to have you here. And I wanted to talk about a few things today. And I was talking a little bit behind the scenes with you. And there's always listeners as you're listening to the commercials and some of those intros, we're connected behind the scenes. And so I asked Kathy if she would be open to discussing some of the projects she's working on right now, too, in addition to empowering us around falling into balance and things to support us in the publishing space. And she leaned in and said yes. So, one, thank you for your flexibility and your willingness to share some of the amazing projects that you're working on.
Oh, always happy to help.
Well, I'm honored. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. I know we shared a little bit about your journey, but I'd love to know why you were drawn to design, why this space of publishing that you continue to powerfully support, bring award-winning authors forward. Why is that space so personally important to you?
As you mentioned earlier, I was downsized in December of 2003. And then when my husband, he was also downsized in 2008. So, I was kind of post 9/11, and then he was a product of the 2008 crash. But what I've noticed and what I learned over the years, we tended to attract a lot of people who were in a similar situation as we were. People who may have been downsized or may have been asked to take early retirement, or people who all at once realized they weren't happy in their job and they just wanted out and wanted to do something else. And we found this niche where we were able to help people create a job for themselves, create work that they loved and enjoyed. And a lot of that really allowed us to get to know those people individually and what were their goals and what were their mission and purpose in life. And I remember a conversation where I realized the people that we were helping and the people that were being drawn to us were primarily what I now call my helpers and healers. And in that category are people who are involved in mental health and physical health and financial health and perhaps the health of a community or a nonprofit. So we started carving out this niche and slowly evolved more so into helping these types of people into the world of publishing. And it struck close to my heart because I was able to use the lessons that I had learned from having been thrust out of a corporate environment where I wasn't happy to begin with. So I was very relieved. After a while, you get to see it coming. And when you've been involved in a few downsizings or mergers or acquisitions, no matter which side of the fence you're on, you get to where you notice, oh, I think I might be next. And so it was a welcome relief for me to be thrust into that world. It's not always a welcome relief. So we had the tools from having gone through that experience to help people figure out what was their next step. And a lot of that involved conversations around personal branding, which then led to conversations around what is it they know, what's in that brain trust in their head, how can we help you monetize this? And quite often it involved the writing and publishing of a book. Along those same lines, we've then, rather than offering a huge book, we found an opportunity to have people introduce our authors and our clients to the power of the anthology, which is essentially a collection of essays where you can enter at a much lower price point and allows you don't have the responsibility of the entire book, but you learn how to write one chapter. And what I've enjoyed the most is watching our authors grow in confidence from having the ability and learning how to write that one chapter and working with one of our writing coaches and gaining that confidence and that momentum to expand that chapter eventually into their own book.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, I can hear your passion, your heart, and I love that you're helping bring so many different giftings forward to the world. And that's a lot of what this branding, bringing it forward, does so beautifully and powerfully, and helping them figure out how to bring their message forward, whether it's a step, and the anthology is a great step. That's how I started too. Like, that's a great step to write a chapter, an essay, a section, and be able to bring it forward and kind of experience all the different steps in publishing and the magical collaboration of working with others to bring it forward and launch it into the world. So I think that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing. And speaking of anthologies, I'd love for you to share about a current project. I know I'm honored to be a part of it, very excited about it. I'd love for you to share the vision that you were given and a little bit about this book and what it's called and when we can look forward to it being released in the world.
Certainly. So I can remember exactly where I was. I was sitting at a stoplight, had the news radio on in the car, and it was March 13th. And that was the first inclination that I got that we were going to be living in a new world. And I was on my way back from a client appointment in person, believe it or not. And I have to say it was the last one I've had in the last 6 months. And found myself thrust in this new world of, okay, now what do we do? And this voice in my head said bright spot. And even saying it now, I get goosebumps. And I just kept saying, what does this mean, bright spot? Right? And I just, for probably at least a week, I just kept waking up thinking, bright spot, what am I supposed to do with this? I really felt that it was wherever you are in the world of spirituality, I did feel that this was some sort of divine message for me and I was determined to figure it out. So from there, I happened to get a news feed about a project in Italy. And of course, we all know that part of the country or part of the world was hit early on in a very dramatic and strong fashion. And it's taken them a long time to recover. And one of the projects that someone put together in support of the hospital who was at the core of the crisis in Italy was an anthology. And it was a series of essays actually written by the first responders. And that book then went out to the public as a fundraiser for the community to help rebuild that hospital and rebuild what they needed in their community. And that's when it hit me, is what I noticed most in my community, and I'm talking about the metaphorical community at large, with my family, my friends, my clients across the planet, was that everyone was needing a little shot of something positive. So we created the project Bright Spot Anthology. The subtitle for the book is Motivation and Inspiration to Light Your Path in a Changing World. We've collected essays from all across the country and all across the planet. We have, let's see if I can rattle them off, Mexico and England and Dubai and Paris and Canada, and I may be missing one or two in there, as well as every time zone in the U.S. So we're very lucky. We've collected 40 authors who have contributed what I call, we asked for a bright spot. Tell us about a silver lining. Tell us something that you can share that will offer a sense of motivation and inspiration, kind of a little kick of energy when somebody might need it. I liken it to, if you recall, the old Reader's Digest magazines where you could read one short story and then put it down and go back and read another one. And it's very similar. And you can read one short story for a spot of inspiration. One of the other things that we're doing is for the day of the launch, which is October 1st.
Okay, and I'm gonna stop you for one moment. Yeah, no.
Sure. I can just keep rambling if you like.
I love it. No. I love it. I love all that you're sharing. But I want to give everyone just a moment to take it in. So just to share again a little bit of what she's sharing, because I think this can apply to many of us listening today. So she was given a vision, bright spots. And I love that you kept pursuing, what is this? What is this? And you want to bring it forward. And she pursued that. And anyone listening today, if you've been given a message, maybe you got one today. I want to encourage you to pursue what it is that you're called to bring forward. I mean, keep sitting with it. Keep taking time to reflect, to ask questions, to bring it forward. Because I believe when you're given those prompting, it's because there's a need for that. And I love how you were inspired by the amazing anthology and collection that was produced in Italy and all that unfolded for that, and that you are stepping forward and bringing bright spots forward and leading people from around the world to add that to that conversation, to be a bright spot, to help us remember the silver lining. Remember the gifts. What have we grown? What have we learned? And that helps us go deeper. It helps inspire us and support us on our journey. So I just want to acknowledge you for honoring that and being willing to lead it forward. You didn't look for someone else to go do this for you. You took ownership and you decided to bring the resources together to lead this project forward. And I want to make sure everyone got the date October 1st. Please mark it on your calendars because when we do the launch, we're going to be sharing it out. I know Kathy's going to be sharing it out. All the authors are going to be sharing out. I'm very honored to be a contributor of one of those essays, one of those sections. It's an opportunity for us to help support the world. And we're doing that in a couple of different ways. And Kathy was just going to get into one of those ways. But I want to make sure everybody got the date, October 1st. Mark that on your calendar. Here's an opportunity for you to lean in. And here's why it's special. The first 24 hours of the launch, maybe 48, but definitely the first 24 hours, it's going to be made available for the special rate of $1. What an opportunity to bring that forward and impact people around the world, make it accessible, bringing this transformational information forward. And then on top of that, Kathy, take it away.
Well, yeah, and it kind of likens back, as you were talking, it reminded me that my personal mission as well as the mission of our business is to create positive ripples. And one of the ways we're doing that is that first 24 hours, 100%, not 10, not 20, but 100% of the proceeds from that day are going to funnel back into the nonprofit globalcitizen.org. And some of you may remember, I believe it was in May or maybe early June, Lady Gaga did a concert. It was on like all the major stations and PBS on the same night. It's that same organization, and they have several ways that they fund, including the pandemic and hunger and water in Africa. And I don't get anything back from this other than just the ability to be able to make this donation in honor of all the bright spots in creating those positive ripples.
Beautiful.
And that's on October 1st.
Thank you for sharing. Just an amazing project, and part of how we can all lean in and make the world a better place is sharing out opportunities like this. I also believe I've had the privilege and honor of getting to read some of the sections, and they touch your heart and they're inspiring, and they're all very, very different, which adds such a beautiful diversity to the messaging, to what's being shared. So I know it's a book that will touch your heart, that will inspire you. So I really encourage everyone, write October 1st on your calendar, watch it unfold, help us share it out so we can bring bright spots around the world. We can light up the world in a powerful and positive way. We'd love your support on that. And Kathy, I want to thank you for joining us today, sharing your heart and your passion to really help people bring their messages forward and to be able to monetize it. And to me, what I also know is that you demystify the process of publishing and you really walk beside people. So thank you again for taking time with us today. Towards the end of the show, I'm going to make sure people know how to connect in with you. So thank you so much. As we go to our next commercial break, listeners, I want you to think about, how are you choosing to be a bright spot? What are you choosing to shine out? What are you choosing to echo out into the world? Because we're shining and sharing out things all the time, energetically, the way we show up, what we say, what we don't say, how we are. So how can you choose to be a bright spot and echo out those things that matter to you in such a way it encourages, lights a path, helps another? And we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and got some ideas, insights, or thoughts about being a bright spot. How are we doing that? How are we stepping forward? What are we echoing out? What's the ripple that we're creating in the world? And perhaps we didn't realize we were. What an opportunity to now know that you are having an impact. You are touching other lives, and we can do so mindfully and purposely. I'm very excited to introduce our next guest. I was telling her behind the scenes, there's just so much she has done and accomplished. It was hard for me to choose highlights to share with you today, just to give you a perspective, like a snapshot. So I'm going to really encourage you, please read her full bio. Please learn about this amazing person I'm about to introduce to you. And I feel like she has absolutely tapped into that, being that bright spot, being that person that is willing to take a stand to echo out those things that matter to her, to make that difference in all different types of medias. And so let me just share a snapshot of Renew. So Renew has been featured on multiple documentaries for her powerful work with children. She's been featured on places like CNNmoney.com, Kron 4, Sony TV in Asia as a visionary in early education. She's the founder of Genius Kids Incorporated with over 30 centers in Northern California. She specializes in educational learning programs for children 0 to 12. And then she also specializes, and there's just so much, I love it. She also specializes in helping build confidence, leadership, and public speaking in children 2 to 15 years old. Like, it's never too early to start building these skills. She has a bachelor's in science, a doctorate in natural sciences, and has been recognized and received numerous awards locally, nationally, and globally. And recently was featured on a music video. I'm going to let her share that with you. That got over 15. Well, what's the current count, Renee? It was 15 million the last time I talked to you.
This morning is 26 million in 10 days.
I mean, just so exciting, so amazing. So I'll definitely have you share a little bit about that. And she has an amazing book that she's bringing forward. We're going to be talking about today as well. And she powerfully, passionately believes in helping children be confident, raising that next generation of leaders, but doing so in a way that it's uplifting them, that it's empowering them. So please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and extremely amazing and accomplished Renew Dillon to the show. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. That's such a nice, warm welcome. So thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome.
It's an honor to be on your show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so excited about all that we're going to be talking about and having you on our show today. But I'd like to start with why. Why is this work that you're doing today and helping children and helping people that are supporting children so powerfully? Why is that work so important to you, and kind of what led you to stepping into the space and kind of has that fire in your belly, has you continuing to bring things forward to help?
Well, I was born and raised in Kenya. I always say where our former President Barack Obama is from. I grew up in a very small town. It was very limited with the additional extracurricular activities that, because it was such a small town. But one of the things that my parents did when I was very young is they enrolled me in this British drama school. It's called the Little Theatre Club. And I'll never forget that, because that experience of putting me on stage from the age of 3 and, exposing me to drama, theater, public speaking, I think has really been the foundation of who I am today. And I really felt that when I moved on to England and I came here, I felt that the schools were lacking that. We put so much focus on just education, everybody now, especially now, and it's become such a competitive world to get into colleges, that people forget that their soft skills are so important. And we just focus so much on just getting the straight A's in our math and our history, and everything is just learn. But there's no foundation given for soft skills and the ability to be able to express yourself, express your thoughts. And that's where I felt the system was lacking. So when I came here, I was a single mom for many years and couldn't afford to put both the kids in daycare. So I started doing things with them at home that I felt that my mom had given me the experiences, because I couldn't find a little theater club here. And so I created one in the house. And I really felt that that's where I got my calling. I thought to myself, I need to create a program where children can learn to discover themselves, because they're not being given that opportunity at home. And children need to know that they are strong, that they're smart, that they're loved, and that there are ways of discovering that. And they just need a little bit of help, and if a child finds that someone believes in them, it's amazing what that child can do. It just takes that little extra push, and that's what I wanted to do. And that's when I decided to found Genius Kids.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, and taking a snapshot of that journey, and that seed was planted and it's grown into many, many things. And I know one of your core beliefs in this is something about coaching versus control. Do you mind talking a little bit about that and why that's something that you feel is a really important concept to bring forward for parents and for their children?
Absolutely. The first thing I'll say is all parents, we all want to be great parents. We all want to be excellent parents. And we all want to be perfect parents. But there's no such thing as a perfect parent. And I think sometimes what happens is if we don't achieve our own dreams and our own wishes, we try and live them through our children, and we forget that our children should be allowed to have their own dreams and their own plan of action. So I just really feel that, especially in certain ethnicities, we tend to decide what our children are going to do. We start deciding everything from, when they're little, yes, of course, we want them to be safe, we help them dress and whatever. But there comes a point where you have to start letting your child make their own decisions, and you have to accept if they don't want to go down the way that you want them to do. For example, an engineer wants their child to be an engineer, a doctor wants their child to be a doctor. That's not necessarily the path. And I really feel it's so, so important for us to learn to become a coach and not just the parent. So become a parent coach. Coach your child. Give them the tools that they need to be successful, but don't lay the path for them. Don't show them where they have to go. Let them find their own path. Because at the end of the day, if you empower that child, they will find their own path, and they'll be able to change themselves and the world. You just need to let them find their own direction. And I think we're just obsessed just too much with the academics these days. It's just become so competitive that it's understandable. And we forget that there's a lot more than just, doing math and reading a history book. There's just a lot more. I read somewhere, Rebecca, it said if you want your children to be intelligent, this was done actually by Albert Einstein. He said, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. And if you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. And I grew up reading nothing but fairy tales. And believe it or not, even at the age of 60, I still read fairy tales. I just find it so important to give your child something else to do other than just study. And I don't know why we're so obsessed with that.
Thank you for sharing. I love that. And I love this, letting them choose their path and kind of being open to that, recognizing, supporting their path, not maybe what we had planned or thought it would be, but being open. And what you were sharing earlier about them discovering themselves and their brilliance and kind of how they're made, and that helps them gain confidence. So I love how you take that stand so powerfully for children and so powerfully to support parents to help their children really do that. And that there isn't, so anyone who felt like they had to be a perfect parent, they just didn't get the guide. It doesn't exist. There's no perfect parents. But I know you were led to create something to support parents parents on the journey. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what that is, why you felt led to create the book that you're bringing forward? And I'd love for you to share just a little bit about it.
Absolutely. Thank you. So first of all, I was very motivated to write the book after my experience with meeting you and the guidance that you gave Seema on her first book. So that was a really wonderful experience. You know, I'd written something a long time ago, and I just didn't know how to put it out there. So that was the first step I took. And the reason why I felt that it's important to write this book is I've spent 20 years teaching children, and this is the only one thing I'm grateful for social media. I'm not a big fan of social media, but my students find me now on social media, kids that I taught 18 years ago. And one of the most common things that I hear back is they'll look for me to thank me and always say, thank you for giving me the confidence to speak or the confidence to make my own decision. And I really felt, you know, it's time that whatever I've done for the last 20 years, I put it into a simple step-by-step book. Because a lot of parents say, oh, you know, it's you, I know you've done it. And it's actually not me. It's just the techniques that I've used in the classroom and the techniques we continue to use at Genius Kids. And this is why I felt, you know, it's time for me to put pen to paper and put these ideas out. And of course, you motivated me and encouraged me to do this. And, you know, I always tell parents, even when I teach children, I always tell children one thing. I read this again somewhere, and I said, there's nothing in a caterpillar that tells you it's going to be a butterfly. So I tell parents, you know, you'll be surprised what this little package that you've created is going to turn into. And you just need to be able to believe in them and make them believe in themselves. And I felt this book was critical that parents understand the simple things they can do at home to raise confident children, which is what the name of the book is.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I love that imagery of this little package and what it will become, the caterpillar and the butterfly, and just letting that unfold. So the title of the book, again, I'd love for you to share the full title.
Yes. The full title is Raise Confident Children, Today's Kids, Tomorrow's Leaders. And the reason why we've named the book this is because we want everyone to understand that every child, everybody is a leader. And I think sometimes we associate leadership with just being the president of a country or the CEO of a company. You can be a leader in your own little world. You just have to have the right tools and the confidence to believe in yourself. And that's why we felt it's important that the future of the world is our children today. So today's kids, tomorrow's leaders.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, the book is going to come out on October 6th. So another amazing book. You get to circle the date, October 6th. I encourage you to add that onto your calendar. This powerful book will be available in the first 24 hours. It's also going to be available for that special $1 rate. So you definitely want to stay tuned. You want to watch, put this on your calendar. What an amazing gift to share out and give. So October 6th, mark the date, circled on your calendar, be watching for the posts and sharing out that will be taking place that day. And we want to get you excited. And I know we have started to share the cover out. Do you mind describing the cover? I love your cover.
Yes, so the cover is actually my beautiful little granddaughter, Gia, with a microphone in her hand. And just so that everyone knows, that's something she does all day long. She started at Genius Kids when she was 4 months old, and one of the things we do at Genius Kids is as soon as they're able to walk, we introduce them to that microphone, whether it's singing or saying their first phonetic sound. And both my grandkids now love the microphone so much that even when I want to speak to them, they think they have to speak to me using a microphone. So
a microphone will speak. I love it.
Yeah. So we have little Gia on the microphone, and the reason why I've put such a tiny little baby there, she's just 2, is really never too little to speak, never too little to empower anyone. And that's what the whole purpose of that cover is. My grandson he made the back cover. I've taken this is a funny story. I wanted to make sure my grandkids don't ask me, why did you put one on the cover and one behind? My goal was to put both. But he wasn't in a very good mood that day, so I've taken a video of him so that he remembers that when he's 19 years old and asks me that question.
Documentation's important.
Yes. But again, going back to that, I wanted to, children have their days, and it was okay.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't want to, he wanted to hold the microphone but not say anything, but that's okay. As a parent, as a grandparent, we have to understand they all have their moods like we have their moods, and that's okay. That's part of learning and loving. So.
Oh, I love it. Beautiful. So everyone, thank you for sharing. I didn't know that backstory about why he was on the back. So thank you for sharing. Beautiful. And so again, the book will be released. Women Empowerment. There you go. Raise Confident Children. Today's Kids, Tomorrow's Leaders will be available on October 6th for that special $1 rate. So make sure to mark that on your calendar. And I wanted to make sure I promised we would share about this 15 to 26 million video. I didn't want people wondering. So can you share a little bit about what is that all about, this video?
Well, you know, both my grandkids are a huge fan of this very well-known singer. He's from India. He's from Punjab, which is where I'm from. His name is Diljit Dosanjh. But today he's trending worldwide in all the communities. And it was very strange. I guess he had seen my silver hair color on Instagram in a picture somewhere. And he was coming up with this video called Born to Shine, which tied in really well with my book. And he told one of his friends in the production team, you know, I'd love to play the role of my mom in the video. So it was wonderful. I got this opportunity just a few weeks ago to play a cameo role where I come in as the angry parent, bringing him the girl of my choice for him to be with in this amazing video called Born to Shine. And we released it 10 days ago. We're already at 22 million hits. And it's been powerful for me because one of the things is I get all these messages asking me if I'm really his mom. So my Instagram is completely gone wacko. But it was a great experience because another thing I'm showing is that even at the age of 60, hey, I can do a music video too. You know, there's no number to the age. You just have to, empower yourself.
I love it. And you embrace it. And you were so powerful. Like when you walk on the scene, all eyes turn to you. The energy, and you walk and he set at attention. Like you had that powerful
it's
energy.
Funny, Rebecca, a lot of people they voted that's their most favorite scene. So it's been quite funny, a scene that they didn't even think would ended up becoming the most powerful scene in the whole video. And worldwide, we've had reactions from so many people. Even Justin Bieber has taken the music video and done something with it. So it's quite funny.
I love it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I love it. And I love your willingness to step forward in so many ways and so many roles. And I love that you're doing that and you're embracing it. And that's a gift to all of us and a beautiful example for all of us. And our time is coming to a close here. Renu, I've so appreciated you sharing, and I wanted you to share if people want to connect with you, want to go deeper, want to watch your programs, your shows, connect in, what's the best way?
Yes, so I have a website, missrenu.com. That's MISSRENNU, missrenu.com. I also have a YouTube channel, which is with Miss Renu, and you can find me on that, or geniuskidsonline.com. Basically, if you type in Google Renu Dhillon, you pretty much come in with different links to find me. And I'm always happy to talk to anyone about whether it's women empowerment or children empowerment, or even doing a dance in a music video. Hey, I'm always open to talking about anything. Yeah, and I'm really excited about my book. I want to thank you, Rebecca, and also thank Kathy, who's on the call, for the wonderful review. And, just like anything, it takes everyone else to help motivate and do something together. And if we can do it as a team, then we can be anything and everything we want to be. So I'm very grateful to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. And Kathy, I want to make sure those who have questions about publishing, Bright Spots, wanting to go deeper, I'd love for you to share how they can get in touch with you. Oh, Kathy?
Hello, are you there?
Oh, there you are. I can hear you. Fabulous.
Okay.
Yes. How can people connect with you?
The quickest way is Kathy with a C at daviscreative.com. If you're interested in learning more about anthologies, we do 4 a year. The next one coming up is Engaging Experts. That will launch at the end of January. And I do have a freebie, the top 100 plus ideas for marketing your book. And again, you can request that by emailing me. The easiest way is Kathy@daviscreative.com. Thank you, Rebecca.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for making that available. Again, Kathy's amazing book, Bright Spots, will be available on October 1st, and Renu's amazing book, Raise Confident Children, Today's Kids, Tomorrow's Leaders, will be available on October 6th. I want to thank everyone for leaning in, being part of this conversation today. And as you get ready to go back out in the world, take a moment, stop, pause, take a breath, and then choose what you want to echo forward. Choose to be that bright spot you are. And may you shine powerfully, beautifully, and purposely out in the world. I look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.